I'm here to talk to you about PR today and promoting your business as close to free as possible. But a lot of people ask me, what the hell is PR anyway? And according to the PR Association, and this is kind of right actually, the leading duties are general media relations and strategy. So media relations being like getting on with journalists. So I do a lot of bribing. Sorry if there's a journalist in the room. So I pull a lot of favours and get to know a lot of journalists in order to get my clients into the newspapers, magazines, on TV, on radio, and also on digital and social media. So that's mainly what PR people do. So today I'm going to give you some tips to help you promote your businesses, and there'll be plenty of time for questions, mainly because this talk is a lot longer than I originally thought it was going to be, this time slot, so it'll be fine. The last time I did this it only took 20 minutes, but it means there's more time for you guys to do the interactive bits, which is great. So we're going to look at 5 ways today that you can promote your business. We're going to look at networking, which is what we're all doing here today, social media, using brand ambassadors, doing something for charity, and I know there's a few charity people in the room, so this will be good. I'll get them all to come to you. And becoming an expert or being an expert and being able to share your expertise. So today we are all networking. Put your hand up if you prepared for coming today. Okay, that's pretty good, because last time I did this in a room of 90 people, only 2 people put their hands up, and they were both professional networkers, and nobody else had prepared for being there. And it was really early in the morning, so it shocked me that nobody else had prepared to be there. Okay, I will go back to the preparing in a minute, but why do you network? Does anyone give me a reason? Why do we bother networking? What's it good for?
To make contact with other businesses, find out about them, for them to find out about you, and hopefully find out if they can refer you to people in their contact list and vice versa.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. What she said. I'll pay her later. Yeah. So it's to find out about other businesses, to build relationships with other people, so that in the future you might be able to refer them, and they might be able to refer you. Now that does take time. Okay, you need to get to know people, and you can only make a good referral if you really know that other person really well, because it's your reputation as well as that person's reputation. If you refer someone who's rubbish, it's not going to do you any good, or that person.
That referral isn't always financially quantifiable.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a door opener to something else that might be financially beneficial to you.
Yeah, so it's so you can all hear it's not always a financial gain from that relationship. Sometimes it's just opening a door to something else, and you never know where something's going to lead. And I'm a busy person. I've got a business, family, like a lot of us have got other things going on in our lives. But when I go networking, I always take it very seriously that I'm going to come away with some good leads, and I'm always going to follow up those leads and spend the time getting to know the people who I think are going to, it's going to benefit them for me to get to know, and it's going to be a benefit for me to be able to help them and them to help me. Okay, so when you're networking, we've all had that situation where someone's just come and forced their card in your face and they start selling themselves to you, and you just want to run away at that moment. It can be nerve-wracking to walk into a new situation, to push yourself and go to a new group or a new situation. So choose somebody who you don't know very well. If you're sitting by them, that's fine, or turn yourself around. And then just ask each other a couple of questions that you might ask, when you're out networking. Come up with some good questions, and then we'll see then in a couple of minutes who's come up with some good kind of icebreaker questions or things you can ask people to, quite quickly get to know a bit about them. So okay, first activity. So choose somebody you don't know too well. Let's go round. Who's got some good questions? Come on, let's have some good questions you can ask people.
This lovely lady had a great question.
Oh, go on.
She didn't ask her name. She asked me. Yeah. What brought you here? Like to a specific event? Why did you choose to come to this?
Yeah, that's a really good one because you can ask that everywhere you are, basically. So that's a really good one. What else have we got?
What do you do?
A tweaked version of that would be, out of everything you might be doing, what's the one thing you would like me to know about?
Oh yeah, that's a good, I like that one. Write that one down, those were notebooks, that's a good one. Yeah. Any others? Sorry, I'll come.
Sometimes I ask what was life in your day.
That's a good one.
So what brought you to your business? What motivates you?
Oh, okay, yeah, I like what inspires you. Yeah, so that's quite a, which you don't ask straight away always. So.
Who do you want to connect with, or how can I help you connect with the people you are looking forward to work with, or?
Yeah. Did you have one then?
Just in the sense of whatever your business is, you ask the viewpoint of the other person. So mine's mental health. So I said, what's your view on mental health resources in school? And just start a conversation.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's a good one. Got any others? Some good ones.
Follow-up question in terms of once you know what someone does, like how do you do that? So we can open into a more detailed conversation about what that looks like.
Okay, yeah. Good. Got some really good ideas here. Got some good seasoned networkers, I think, in this room. That's brilliant. So make sure you go networking, always have a plan. And think ahead with some questions so you don't waste any opportunities. And be aware that you're going to be in it for the long term. You need to give things a good go, and sometimes you'll go along to an event and it might not feel the same as another time you go because there'll be different people in the room. So I always say that you're really in it for the long term, and word of mouth is always going to be the best way of promoting your business. I'll do myself out of a job saying that, but it is true. Like, good word of mouth referrals is always the best way to promote your business. And don't sell to people in a scary way, which I'm sure nobody in here would do, which is fine. Okay, so the second thing we're going to talk about is doing something for charity. So put your hand up if you do something for charity. You do every day. But yeah, and do you do that thing for charity for your business, as part of your business? Yeah. Okay, cool. So there's a few of you that do something for charity as part of your business. So I can't mention who I pitched to, but it's not a company from around here. And I went up to talk to them about some promotion they were going to be doing. So one of the questions I asked the business is, what do you do for charity? What charities do you work with? And they gave me a list of 10 charities. And I mean, they had one of everything in there. They had environmental, they had heart, they had cancer, they had, children, something or other. And I thought, this is a bit suspicious, to be honest. There's 10 charities here. It's not a massive company. Do any of these charities actually mean anything to you? Oh no, we just thought they'd be good for us to be involved with. Okay, give me strength, I thought. And then, so I said, okay, let's start from the bottom. Let's forget those and see who here, who works for you is doing something for charity out of work. Oh, I don't know. Well, let's start there and go and ask some people. And it turned out that one of their sales guys had a child in a local hospital. And I said, okay, if you want to do something for charity, this would mean something. This would mean something tangible to someone who works for you. Yes, it's a good story and a good way for you to get yourself in the local press and do something good for your community, but it really does mean it's genuine, it's a genuine connection. So that's the first thing, is I am really happy to help businesses promote themselves by using charitable links, but it needs to be a very genuine, real link and not just made up because they think they might just look good. Okay, and you do see that. And you can, I know, public can see that really easily. So if you believe in a certain charity, why not do something with people you work with, people you network with, and use that as a great opportunity to get into the local press. It helps the charity and it helps you too. It also, if you've got people who work with you and you work as part of a bigger organisation, it's a really good way of getting to know people who you work with in a way that isn't just as their boss or just as their colleague in work. There's some chaps I network with in Bristol, and they been doing their communications people, telephones and stuff, and they've been working with a charity, and they all jumped out of a plane 2 Fridays ago for this charity, and they certainly found out all sorts of things about each other that day because they scared themselves doing this, and it's really wonderful that they came together, and now they're a much stronger team for doing that. So there are many benefits, and I know there's a couple of charities in the room here today who know how important it is for them to work well with businesses, but also how important it is for that business to really understand what they do and why they do it. So yeah, do consider it. So if you do something personally, make sure that people at work know that you do that. Yeah, you can talk to people about it and see if there's a connection you can make between your business and the charities that you support personally. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is social media. Are we all on social media? I'm going to say who isn't on social media and see if anybody isn't. Okay, so we all use social media and we all have our favourites, don't we? We all have our favourite place to be. I'm personally going through quite an Instagram phase at the moment because I like pictures, so I like that. So I like to think of the way that PR and social and things like advertising fits into your whole marketing strategy. I like to think of it like a Terry's chocolate orange. Has anyone eaten one yet this Christmas time? Yeah, okay. So I have done this before when I've handed out the Terry's chocolate orange and I forgot that everyone's going to bang them, so it makes like a hell of a noise on there. So each little segment is so think of the Terry's chocolate orange as your business. Okay, and each little segment is something you could do to promote it. So you've got PR, advertising, you've got Facebook, you might have Twitter, LinkedIn, you might have all different things that you can do, but everyone's orange is going to be a little bit different. Because the first thing you've got to do is make sure that you are using a social media platform where your clients are. So you might have things you do privately, okay? So you might have love going on Facebook, chatting to your friends on an evening, but you might not have any customers on Facebook. It might not be the right platform for you. So even though I know that social media is important, you don't have to be everywhere, okay? Just be the places where your customers are. The other thing about social media is it is social, it's a community, and I work with several clients where I'm not just doing a social media, I'm kind of looking at it as part of their whole marketing strategy. And I have this little argument quite often about how many sales posts to put and how many other things to put. And I'm always going, no, that's too many. It's too many sales posts. It's too many sales posts. We're trying to talk to people. It's social. People don't really want that. Who's fed up with seeing loads and loads of salesy things? Like you want to interact with your friends and see interesting content and read something that's interesting. So think about the mix, what you can share. Use social media as part of your business to give information, to give some knowledge. Use it as a great way of giving to your community and build a really, really nice community. Okay, so who's on LinkedIn for their business? Okay, loads of people. Okay, I'm going to pick at someone at the back. Why have you chosen LinkedIn for your business? Somebody at the back, shout out. Amy, are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn.
Yeah, okay. And what do you find it useful for?
Well, because I predominantly work business to business, it's kind of, you can think of LinkedIn as sort of Facebook in a suit, if you like. So it's kind of, it's sort of, people share information and share knowledge, but it is on a more kind of, it's on a more business level. So people are kind of, in a sense, already part qualified once they're on LinkedIn, because they're there for professional purposes, not just to, look at cat pictures.
Yeah, but can I just say that I have weirdly been propositioned by men in America on LinkedIn this month. Like, what is going on with that? Like, is it some new dating thing I don't know about? Like, I'm very happily married, thank you. But yeah, so it's a really, you're right, people are partially qualified because they're there for business. So if you are B2B, it's a really, really good place to be. I find, or you offer a professional service like I do, I find it a really, really good place to be. Who's on Twitter? Okay, ish, yeah. You see now, I'd probably advise you to forget it, not ever do anything ish. So, yeah, Twitter's interesting, isn't it? Because it moves so quickly. So in some way, and also some people are Twitter users, some people aren't. It seems to be a bit like Marmite, I find. So I work a lot in cycling industry and triathlon. They are all over, like Twitter, like huge, yeah. So it's really good. And I've got a client, cycling industry client, through being on Twitter at a certain time, and we were chatting. The business hours are useful. Kerry's who runs Bristol Business Hour. There's certain industry hours that can be really, really useful on Twitter, but it does really vary. So, don't waste time by being on it if it's not useful for you, but if it is, do it properly. So, and Facebook is, yeah.
I quote the Twitter, you blink and miss it. I'm on it, but
Yeah, I think it is that fast-paced kind of news that people like, people, yeah.
And so with Twitter, it's very handy. For example, we're a web hosting company where we use it for like short bursts of updates.
Yeah.
Server needs maintenance and something like that.
Yeah.
Customers are quick, if they're seen, done, that's all it.
Yeah.
Great, and then you use pictures and hashtags with it, and you can kind of boost it around.
Yeah.
It's a great way of doing it.
Yeah, so it either fits with what you're doing, or it doesn't. I quite like it for the, I work with a few industries who are quite busy on Twitter, the film industry, for instance. There's a lot of news and things going on. And you can reuse your content a bit because people aren't always going to see it, so you don't need to come up with like a whole load of new tweets, like 6 a day or whatever. They're completely different, because I do tend to make, you're not going to catch everybody all the time. But yeah, it depends on what industry you're in. But for, yeah.
We had some fires when I was living in Spain, and I literally posted a picture. I was like, oh, I can't believe this happening to our beautiful place. And within 30 minutes, I was contacted by the independent Metro newspaper.
Yeah.
Loads of them, and obviously loads of different people were following me, unbeknown to me, and then obviously once I posted stuff.
Yeah. Journalists spend their life on there. That's why I'm on Twitter, like saying, I've got this, you want this? Yeah, I've got this.
It takes a long time to build up a network, but once you've got this one, it's quite important.
Yeah.
So in other ways, exactly what you said about bringing marketing into Facebook and nothing like that, you can use it as a stepping stone platform instead of as a social media platform that you can do everything on. Use it as a networking tool, bring in your customers, and then go, you know what, I don't really use this much, let's force them back into Facebook like you do.
Yeah.
Bring them into it, actually post a lot, and in that way you bring your networking nice and neat, and it's one place to manage, not millions of places to manage.
Yeah. Good tips. This is good. Everyone's joining in. I love this. Brilliant. So the key message is to use your social to create that community that's right for your business. Be quite brutal a little bit, so especially on Twitter you get loads of people following you, and sometimes you don't actually want that, to follow them. So be a little bit brutal about that. It's fine, it's business, it's not, your family social kind of area. I'm actually really careful on social media. I don't put things about my kids and stuff because I have my business pages, I have my personal ones, but I tend to not keep it private because people find me that way. So I do usually advise people to be a little bit careful about what they put out there. Yes, I won't tell you the story of the naked bottom of one of my clients that I found on Twitter one morning, but I have to make that go away. So use your social media wisely, and use it seriously, and do one thing really well rather than 5 things really badly. That's the main thing I'd say. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is brand ambassadors. So who's your biggest fan? Probably my mum, me. Yeah? Okay. So, but then in all seriousness, a lot of times our family and friends are our biggest fans in our business. Have we empowered them? Do they know how to describe what we do to other people? Because that is the key thing. So we have big fans in our business. We have people who buy from us regularly. We have people who really support us. They may not buy from us, but they really support us. They're going to big us up to other people. But do they actually know what to say about what you do? And actually, I'm kind of quite worried about what my mum might say when she's at book club with other people, who actually might be quite influential in some ways. You know, remember to tell people how to talk about you. So I work with a lot of brand ambassadors. I help businesses choose either great customers or well-known people to be ambassadors for their brands, might be bloggers. But I always make sure there's a genuine relationship there. We've all seen advertising, we've all seen blogs where people have been endorsing a product and we thought, they don't use that. You can always tell. So again, it comes back to being genuine. And it also, if you are going to go into relationships, so sometimes I'll have a brand who will give an amount of product to someone in return for a certain amount of social media or blog posts about it, advertising that product. Always, always, always have an agreement in writing in place, and I can send out templates if anyone ever wants that. Because especially if it's a family member or a friend, and you've given something of yours, you need to make sure they know what you expect back. And so they know that actually I've given you this and I expect to have 2 Facebook posts a month back for this product or whatever it is. And I also work the other side, so I work with people who've been given the products where brands are maybe asking actually quite a lot for one t-shirt, you know, which is, I have quite young people come to me, I've had some teenagers come to me who've got very, very good social media accounts who have actually been slightly exploited by brands for giving them products and then expecting an awful lot back for that. So I've sort of stepped in there and managed that relationship. So empower the people around you to say the right words about you. Make sure you tell your husband what you're doing. Make sure you tell those people who are going to talk about you the words they need to use. So those words that if they're going to try and help find referrals for you, what you're looking for. You keep your family and friends and your customers updated. We've all got good clients and good customers who will go out and speak about us and make sure they're up to date and they know what you want them to say. And if you do something that is a business relationship, have a business relationship with a brand ambassador, have that in writing. It's really, really important. Even if you just put it in the drawer, don't look at it again. But I've had to deal with some really sticky situations before for people, and I think that's really important. And having fans talk about you, it's a really wonderful way of spreading more referrals further. Just jot down maybe 1 or 2 people who could be good ambassadors for you, your business and your brand. It could be family, friends, or think through who you've got on Facebook as your followers. And then remind yourself to speak to them this week and make sure they know what you're up to and how they might be able to help you. Any questions about brand ambassadors? Yeah.
Not really believe in what we're doing, so you don't know if they're really a brand ambassador.
Oh, do you work on your own?
I work with my wife, but we work together, so I can't really say that it's
Yeah, but then you're each other's ambassadors. So
yeah,
that,
it's the same business, so
yeah, so, but also, so are you on social media with the business? Are you on social media with the business?
yeah, but then
Okay, so what you probably, it's quite new, is it quite a new business? I can't remember what you said to me
you do
earlier.
have quite a large following on social media.
Yeah, okay, so the first thing I would do is probably if you want a brand ambassador, is have a look who your biggest influencers are on social. I'll usually recommend, Mention's quite easy to use and easy to get a free account. See who your biggest influencers are, monitor that. And then if there's somebody there who's a really big influencer, and reacting to a lot of your social content and you think that they might be helpful, then you might want to nurture that relationship. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I would. Sorry?
Key person of influence, find one.
Yeah.
Don't you get feedback from your customers?
Oh, it's all website.
Yeah, so you need to stalk people online. Stalk's probably the wrong word for it, but sorry, videoing people. I didn't really mean that. But yeah, but then you need to check them out, okay, before you do anything with them. Just check who they are. If you don't know them personally, then yeah, little Google.
It's just my family, they don't like the idea. They don't like people who run their own businesses. They think you should be employed, you should have.
Yeah, okay, I totally understand. Yeah. Yeah.
My friends are all very like fashion, so they don't get the whole like tech side of things.
Okay, yeah, you'll win them round. I've got a feeling it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I know that can.
Good point about like nurturing the following.
Yeah, just get to know them, and then the right person will probably stand out. So I work with cycling accessories brand, and we didn't have any ambassadors, and then it's a Twitter thing actually. Got followed on Twitter by someone who's in the RAF, and I thought, oh yeah, she's interesting. Like looking back, and then I realised that her boyfriend now. They're engaged now, was also in the RAF, and they're really big in cycling, so I thought, okay, this is interesting. And we had a little chat, and I sent them some product, and yeah, they're absolutely brilliant ambassadors, but it just came from nowhere, you know. I just started looking to see who was interesting, who was interacting, checked out who they were, and I've got another lady that way as well, so yeah, you just sometimes they'll just float, the right person will float to the top of the pile, I think, but you just need to look for them. Yeah.
And if you just mention some sort of program to
I quite often use Mention, just to, it immediately gives you like a sort of top influencers kind of the day. I've got about 5 different ways I monitor things, but that's probably one of the easiest ones. Okay, so the last bit I'm going to talk about is being an expert. So who's an expert? Brilliant, I've got loads of experts. Okay, that's good. Sometimes people just sit on their hands at this point and go, I don't know anything about anything, to be honest. Okay, so go back, let's move around a little bit. Don't talk to the person you spoke to last time, but I want you to tell each other what you're expert in. And it might not be related to your business. Okay. It doesn't always have to be, or can be related to your business, but it might not be. What you're an expert in? What are you expert at? Okay, so I'm so glad we got so many experts in the room. This is brilliant. Noisy ones too. Being an expert is a really good way of getting yourself into the press. Okay, so could you do a guest blog or a column in a magazine or a newspaper, sharing and giving away some of your knowledge? It's a way of sharing the gift that you've got to the rest of the world, and it gets your business name in there. Okay, so if you write something that's got your business name emblazoned all over it, it is advertising, you will be charged for it. Okay, so be a bit cleverer than that. So it's using your knowledge and your expertise to become someone with a valuable opinion. So the journalists will then start coming to you. Okay, and that's what I spend most of my time doing, is helping my clients find places for their expertise to be shared. So perhaps before we wrap up today, is think about that thing that you know about that's other people don't know about. And the chances are lots of people don't know about it and will want that knowledge, even if it feels a little bit maybe obvious to you. It won't be to other people. And could you do 3 tips on something, 5 tips on something, give away some of your knowledge and help other people. So I've got a friend and a client who's a counsellor, and she works with domestic violence victims. And so I said to her, God, what can we give? This time of year is a really horrible time of year for a lot of people. Why don't we put together something with some list of phone numbers, places where friends and family can phone over the festive period and get some help if they need that. So partially she's moved to a new town, so she's establishing herself as being an expert in this in a new area, but it's mainly to give people a list of useful phone numbers and contacts. So that's something that I've just been working on this week. So think slightly outside what you might normally think of. Look at your favourite magazines or newspapers. Have a look what sections they've got, or different websites that you read, and see if you can imagine yourself slotting in there and have a go. So just to wrap up, I want you to network with purpose. So make sure every time you go out somewhere that you are prepared and you're ready to speak to people and ask interesting questions that are going to get information to you, and you're ready and prepared to give the right information to them. You let them know what you're looking for. Use charity wisely. It can be a really good thing for your business on many levels. Consider how sort of social media fits in with everything else you're doing. Make sure everything works together. Use the right platforms where your customers are and spend your time doing that really well, and talking to people and having good conversations, and make sure it fits in with all your other marketing that you do. Empower your brand ambassadors and your mum to speak about you on your behalf, and share your expertise. Don't be afraid of giving a little bit of your knowledge, for free. Some people are afraid of that. I'm not going to give this away. But, there's no harm in doing that. It's a good thing to do. Makes you feel better too. Okay, so thank you.
You're not giving away all your secrets?
No, you're not.
I'm a web designer and
yeah.
I talk a lot about web design, but people can't read my blogs and then do my job.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's a good thing to do, and we all know something other people don't know. Yes.
It's good information you're giving me, they'll come back to you.
Exactly. Always. Yeah.
I started. I had a bit of a thing with that at first, with the free information, and how can I do it where it didn't impact what I was going to be selling effectively.
Yeah.
I started a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And that really worked for me. But then it's all free, and it's really worked.
Yeah.
It's really worked.
Yeah. It can work really well. That can work really well. Yeah.
I just have a question. So what your thoughts on it are, if we have a blog, maybe sort of daily blog about various innovations in the tech market, because obviously we have a tech market.
Yeah.
So all our social media platforms basically then they automatically repost our blog.
Yeah.
So there's every single platform. Do you think that's going to be boring for customers?
Potentially, as long as you, your customers are going to want to know that information. But just do some personal stuff in between in between it is what I'd say. Just make sure it's lively. But I know that your customers are going to want that technical information. But it's also just making it like, why should they buy from you and not another website? Yeah, what makes you different? Why are you making a difference to them? So let them get to know you and your business partner.
What we've had a month-to-month quite a lot is we've recommended someone to go, they've gone, and then they've sent in pictures of them in the lavender fields and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it creates a story. And
Yeah,
like stories,
yeah.
So you're selling something, but it's in the story of that person playing with that product or whatever. So
Yeah.
we've found that, and mums love sharing.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we do like that. Yeah.
It gives me content for the blog, for the website, and also as well it's selling in a nice way as opposed to, because I'm helping that business because I'm promoting them, they're paying to advertise, but we've done it in a really, really nice way, and it reaches, because people can,
Yeah.
you get reviews on your products and things.
We do, but not as many as we'd like to. More like, when people leave a review, they more tend to be like, oh, good delivery, rather than actually say,
Oh, you have to ask. Yeah, but then go to find your influencers, the ones that are buying from you regularly, and ask specific questions. Because quite often the people buying from you with the products they're buying might not be word people. So you might have to put words into their mouth slightly, a little bit. Yeah. I'm generalising, but yeah, it might. Yeah. This is great. We have some really good information. Has anyone got anything else they'd like to add? I expect to see you all promoting your businesses brilliantly. Good luck, everyone, for the next year of your business. I hope it goes really well. Yeah.